Could probably socialize if we wanted to. What's up, jobbers? I just have to every time now. That's going to be my new thing. I love saying what's up, jobbers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jobber Knocker podcast. I am Nestlemania, alongside for the ride is a man that has been titillizing your guilty pleasures since day one, JC.
Oh, man, we are going to hit on that because it finally, Maximum Male Models has arrived on SmackDown. There was a lot that happened this past week. We have that going on. We have Great American Bash in NXT tonight or Tuesday night, so we'll preview that as well as check out jobberknocker.com. Our boy Dom put up a preview article, so check that out. We have the big show on AEW Dynamite, including a title match between Moxley and Brody King. We're going to get to all that, Nestlemania. We're going to get to all the big signings in WWE, but Nestlemania, there's only one way to start the show, and that is, I got money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank? 2 Money in the Bank winners. Only one of them is still holding that briefcase because one of them, cha-ching, cashed in the same night and became a champion. And Nestlemania at Money in the Bank. I didn't get to watch it till last night. I actually had to power through a lot of wrestling Monday night when I got home from the weekend. But I was following on Twitter because there was one thing I think universally everyone wanted, and that was Liv Morgan to win Money in the Bank. Not only did she do that, and it was an amazing moment and awesome, she cashed in the same night. But not just for any title. She pinned Ronda freaking Rousey, Nestlemania.
I was so surprised, honestly. I was sitting there, we were watching early in the Jobber Knocker thread, and it was me and the Joe Stopper, and he said to me, he goes, do you think if Liv wins, she's going to cash in on Ronda? And of course, me being me, I went,
no chance.
No fucking chance whatsoever. And of course it happens. You just see Joe start cackling like a little girl because he's loving every moment of me being wrong. And then we win and we have this like moment of like everybody's, enjoying it. And like, it's just so cool to see Liv Morgan get what she wants in life. And so there's some people that do WWE for other reasons. And then there are people who grow up watching wrestling and want to be the champion. And when that shit happens, you just go, God damn it, that's just a feel-good moment. And I'm not a Liv person. I was still cheering for Liv. Like, it was awesome to see her do it. I'm a little perturbed that they waited like an hour. They didn't even stretch it to 24 hours, but I get it. We can go off on that tangent if we want to, because apparently Carmella's the only one that held onto that briefcase longer than a day, which I think is odd.
Because Alexa cashed in right away.
Yeah, Bailey.
Asuka got it the next day.
Yeah.
It was handed to her. Bailey cashed in immediately. But I think part of that is, and I want to hit on this because it obviously is a good point. They did it last year with Nikki ASH as well. The woman's Money in the Bank is always first in the show. So that gives them likely 2 opportunities to cash in the same night. Whereas the men's Money in the Bank in recent years, like the last couple, has been the main event. So there's no opportunity for them to cash in. And also we have our fucking bullshit part-time champion who's not even there. So Theory has to hold it till at least SummerSlam because we ain't going to sing the tribal cuck for a while. But I think that's part of it. It's just like, I think they like those. They don't like 2 of the same thing all the time. So I carried around 2 briefcases. And the other thing with the women's, for the most part, is a lot of these same night ones have been the baby faces because you want to get that big pop. And so, yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that Liv did it the same night. We obviously picked Becky, so we were on anyways, but it kind of like, that was kind of an emotional hedge for me because I didn't want to be all in and then crushed again when Liv again came up short. But not only did she not come up short, but she got the 2 biggest wins of her career in the same night. And I still can't believe it. I think our boy 1N said it in the Knocker thread. He's like, I still can't believe that Liv Morgan pinned Ronda Rousey. There's only one other person person who's pinned Ronda Rousey. That was Charlotte Flair. So like, it's kind of crazy when you think of it. And that's why, to me, like, it was such a definitive thing for her, even though it was a roll up and whatever. It's like, it was against Ronda freaking Rousey. So I don't know. I'm thrilled with it being for Liv, but yeah, I mean, could it have been cool her carrying around for a bit? Sure. But this one made sense. Both champions got beat down. They were after her. Rousey could barely freaking walk. She was selling the natty thing like a storm. So it did make a lot of sense. And now we'll see how long Liv holds it.
I did laugh very hard. It was a great GIF or meme moment where you hear Liv's music and you see Ronda go, shit. And I was just like, that's awesome. And then I was surprised because everybody's sitting there going, oh, Ronda needs to beat the shit out of her. Now Ronda needs to turn heel, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wait for it.
Not yet.
Just fucking wait for it. Let her have her fucking moment. Let her have that.
Let it breathe.
Roman Reigns can be a cuck, as our boy Bertsky over here says. I need a tribal cuck t-shirt. Let him go on the island.
I wonder if T
thing.
Public would let us make that.
I mean,
I'd wear it.
I know you'd wear it. I know you'd wear it, but we'd have to make it festive with like peacocks and stuff, you know, like, cause you know, well, come on. The tribal chief. Right? He wears like the tribe. Never mind. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we can talk design later. Bert, if you really want to get on the discussion, hit us up and we'll talk about the tribal cuck t-shirt design. I'm in. But to get back to my original point, she held on to the championship. She gave it to her as like a, hey, this is a cool moment.
Well, it was cool. And Liv was like, she's like, that's mine. That's mine. And that's when people were like, oh my God, it's Ronda gonna hit. And Ronda's like, okay, yay. I love you. Yay.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? Honestly, I was okay with that because like, they can still do the Ronda thing. It seems like that. It sounds like it might be Liv Ronda at SummerSlam still. We'll see. Because my theory is, because a lot of people think this could be a straight rerun of Nikki ASH last year where she won it, and I believe then she lost it at SummerSlam to, hell, it might have been Charlotte. I don't know. But I think that's the big thing for me is that if Liv and Ronda is a 1-on-1 match at SummerSlam and Charlotte hasn't returned yet, that is how Liv beats Ronda again or gets away with it, is because Charlotte will probably interfere and cost Ronda. Then they could probably do a triple threat, or those two could do a 1-on-1 thing. So I don't, because I know our boy One End was asking about that as well, and I figured I'd save it for here because I think it is a good discussion piece. Because when you get these underdog baby faces who, I mean, Liv's tiny too, much like Nikki, it's like you're not expecting this long dominant reign. Most likely, you never know, but I think Liv might get a little more breathing time here because I think they're looking at their women's roster, especially on SmackDown. It was very thin. They're really like Raquel, they're building up, but a lot of these younger stars, like you saw Shotzi in there, there are a lot of like, they're not as much established as the rest. So with Charlotte gone and Ronda not always being there, it makes sense for Liv to go over there and kind of be that big attraction on SmackDown in the women's division. So I think there's some fresh feuds she could do as well. If she does hold it a little while, probably do a Natty feud. They could do a Lacey feud. So I think this is a good move now because we always talk about like the kind of quote unquote off season of WWE. I think you have someone like Liv as a champion. It keeps people interested because, hey, people just love her. Because she's been here 8 years grinding, for the most part, coming up short and losing constantly. So it's a really cool moment when someone like this gets this. I do think they're going to let it breathe a little bit. I really do.
I don't. I think, and this is me, and I wanted to, but I think there's a part of me that looks at it and goes, she doesn't have side plates. And you could, yes, Danny with One End said to me, they never
have side. Brock Lesnar didn't have side plates forever. You're like, Brock Lesnar's going to lose, and he held it for freaking like 3 months. So
I know. I'm just saying, it seems like Ronda Rousey can't not be in a title picture. Charlotte cannot not be in a, you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Well, I just told you how you get a couple months out of it.
I understand that.
And then the triple threat, she could win that too. So that gets you a third month.
Are you going to be heartbroken if she gets a one and done scenario?
No, because she's a champion. She like reached this pinnacle. This is something I said this last year, before the Liv Becky feud, when like the really like the Liv movement kind of started. I'm like, when they want to do it, it is going to be a awesome, unforgettable moment. It is going to be really cool when they decide to pull the trigger. And they pulled the trigger on Saturday night. They didn't just pull one trigger. They pulled both the triggers. They went all in on Liv. But like we said, if like you can run down the roster, and I would say like she's probably someone who deserves it more than anyone because she's been there a long time. She's gone through the system. She's someone that they've been developing from like nothing, where she was a little Jersey girl with the yo gimmick when we started this podcast. And I don't even know if she ever won a match in NXT. But she got the call up, was part of the Bryant squad, did that. They never won the tag titles, nothing. She's never really been the feature till this past year, but it's someone like we all relate to because I think everyone in their life has been through grinds where they come up short. short. They fail. They come up short. And Liv is just so freaking likable. And she's someone like, if you're in WWE, you can point to and be like, look it. I know you might feel like it's not fair sometimes. I know you feel like you work hard. I know you feel like you don't get opportunities. But if you stick with us and put in the work and have that good attitude and just you make that crowd care about you, we're going to give you your moment. And they did. And I think that's a great time because there's a lot of that negative feeling because obviously we had the walkouts with Sasha and Naomi, leaving a big hole here. For them to use someone like Liv to elevate in that situation, I think it sends a really good message to the rest of your roster, the prospective roster, and everything else. So.
Yeah, you wrapped it up with a nice little bow there. I don't have anything else to add, so I think we should get to the rest of Money in the Bank. You want to talk about the Hurt Business?
How about this second biggest fucking baby face in the company right now? Freaking Bobby, freaking Lashley. It's thank God that Bobby is there because after they lost Cody, I was literally worried for Raw because I'm like, if they keep Seth as a heel and KO's still kind of a heel, it's like they don't have like that milky white baby face that everyone just loves, but freaking Bobby Lashley, man, this guy, no matter how much he flubs a promo, no matter what, his entrance is fucking awesome. He just looks like a fucking stud. He's got that $1 million Bobby smile. Like Bobby, like the more I watch this, I wish I would have, because I talked about the last couple of weeks. I'm like, Lashley as U.S. champion, I think they're going to do it. But then I took the coward's way out and predicted Theory like a moron. But they pulled the trigger on Lashley like they should. Obviously, we saw Theory is going to be fine. But I mean, your tribal cuck ain't there. So you might as well take your mid-card title and slap it on your best baby face you have there. Because now you have a big match at SummerSlam and a rematch with them. Bobby could hold this thing a while. It keeps him happy. It keeps the crowd happy. It makes that title important, especially on the 4th of July. Having Bobby kick off the show with a promo. Who would have thought that he would have been the spokesperson for America? But it also, Nestlemania, I saw somebody say this night of, I was pretty drunk, but when I was reading the tweets, because I was reading the reactions on Twitter, and someone said, if things hold and they keep the Survivor Series format, Lashley versus Gunther. Oh my God. With that, you want to talk about big meaty men slapping meat? Big E, we're going to have a hell of a time watching that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Lashley is great against Gunther. I think that would be a fun fucking match. I think two brutes just going head to head. I think Gunther has to win, but it would be super duper cool. I mean, obviously you can have some chicanery or some nonsense that goes on there, but Survivor Series turns into one of these things that we like really hope for, and then it just never delivers anymore.
Yeah, but it was something that like, if I think they might change the format this year, especially if the Usos and Roman are still champion or whatever, but if they kept it, that is something I could sink my teeth into because it's something we've never seen. It's a dream match almost.
I couldn't agree more. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked the reaction he got when he beat Theory. I was sitting there going, holy shit, he really is.
This has been building.
He's I mean, it's the MGM Grand. Everybody's happy. They're drunk. They're gambling. They're having a good time. Our boy Billy and our boy Rossi were there, I think, and a bunch of other people. So having a great time gambling in Vegas. You can't have a bad time in Vegas unless you lose your shirt, really. But
I mean, even still, what are you gonna do?
I mean, even then, you got free drinks. So
go
how
to
can
the
you really
pool?
be?
You'll fit in.
Exactly, or not. It's fine. I don't fit in anywhere I go, but that's beside the fact. I will say this much: I was surprised how big of a babyface Bobby Lashley was and is. And then they, of course, kicked off Raw with him doing the whole United States thing, which again, I got into the idea of the 6-man. It bothered me. Obviously, 6-mans I'm allergic to, but that's okay.
It was fun though.
It was a fun whatever. I'm curious how you feel about Theory losing and then catapulting.
Don't care. It's one of those things like, because the Theory thing, obviously, I had obviously heard about it before I watched it, but I kind of rolled my eyes, but I was like, you know what? It makes sense. It's one of those things that I will say is Money in the Bank, we've always said, is like that vaulting point. And this year they were 2 for 2. They took Liv Morgan, never a champion, vaulted her to a champion. Austin Theory, or just Theory, sorry, right on the cusp. He's probably going to hold that thing a while. Maybe they tease it at SummerSlam, but it's like they really are elevating him. Like he's already been elevated from the lead up to the McAfee, then winning the US title, like all these things, like he's been slowly ascending, but they press fast forward because I don't think he needed this yet, but I was looking at it, thinking about it, it's like, he really could hold this. Imagine so as we kind of talked about Seth being the one to spoil Cody's moment, Theory could now is the fucking trump card, man. And a Theory Cody feud would be awesome. And Theory being like the Vince McMahon guy, that's how you do the McMahon's Rhodes thing down the line. If this motherfucker holds the briefcase till Mania and pulls a Seth Rollins and does the exact same thing. So there are a lot of scenarios for him. You saw the traction you can get from it on Raw with him carrying that around. I like that he still has a feud to sink his teeth into because sometimes we don't always know, like the briefcase holder, but it does make a lot of sense as much as I rolled my eyes, because I did really want Sammy, because I thought that story would have been so cool with him kind of holding it and like being like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But, you know, it was still like that match was obviously like a chaos. My favorite part of that match was freaking them picking up Omos and launching him. I was like, holy shit. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, look, that match was a lot of fun for sure. I thought they delivered specifically in that, and I was happy that Theory walked out, because I mean, our boy Guthrie made a comment which I did tend to agree with, which once Theory was interjected into the match, you kind of knew it was going to happen a little bit.
It felt that way, yeah.
And it stinks when that happens. I mean, at least with the Brock thing, you heard the music as Ali was climbing, and you're like, ah, god damn it, you only had a moment to be upset. But now you had the moment to be upset the whole match, which I get. But he did put on a show. He did very well. I thought it was a decent match in general. So like, again, I don't have any, we can talk about other things on Money in the Bank, or we can wrap it up. But like, honestly, the only thing I was going to say was the other thing that I could think of was that the Usos and the Street Profits had a really good tag match. It felt like it was a big time match. It felt like there were a lot of falsies, that the Street Profits maybe had a chance here. The shoulder was up. Clearly, we're not done.
We're running it back, baby, and I'm okay with that, because like we said, these four together are magic. And
as we were in the Jobber Knocker watch along, our boy Ray said to me, he said to all of us, he said, well, I bet you the Street Profits are probably supposed to win this. Then they had to change it to the MGM Grand and said, nah, not big enough. Let's run it back at SummerSlam. And I was like, I could get behind that. I could get behind that theory.
I don't know. I feel like the Usos aren't, like they're going to keep that visual as long as they can of the holding of the belts. Like maybe it does end at SummerSlam, but I felt like this was never the spot for them to win, especially with Roman not there, because until they merged like the belts or completely and only have like one set, or they decide they're going to split them again. I don't know. I don't think we're there yet. I never really got that sense, but them kind of delaying it, I feel like it'll either be all or nothing at SummerSlam, where we're finally going to get that split that people want, which I don't really yet. I do someday, but I just think these two are so magic together. Or we get them maybe finally getting over the top on the Usos.
So before we move on, your boy Bursky here says, can't tell me after this weekend and on Raw that Dawkins doesn't hear the Montez noise on social media and takes it personally. He looked incredible. So look, I tend to agree with you, Bert. I do. I think that obviously we all want Montez Ford to go, but here's the issue that I think we have on our situations here. Montez Ford's going to be fine, right? No matter what he does. The issue is, what can you do for Dawkins and make him the most comfortable and help him succeed? And everybody's like, well, that doesn't matter as long as you get one person out of the two, it's fine. But in a perfect world, you want both people to succeed in some form or fashion.
I do think Dawkins will be fine regardless, because it's like I said, I could see him having a solo run, but he's kind of like the perfect guy where you can stick him with another partner. Like if you do 6 months of the solo and he kind of just hovers in the mid card, which he probably will, because I think we agree Dawkins isn't a world champion, where Montez could be a face of the franchise type player. But like when I look at Angelo Dawkins and the way he wrestles, the way like you watch him talk, like he can carry himself in backstage segments or any type of segments. It's like this guy will always have a spot on the roster if he wants it because of his work in and out of the ring. So it's one of those things. He's an easy guy to plug back in with someone as a tag team partner, because you can stick him with a little guy and do that, or you can stick him with a guy similar to him. I don't think he'll have a problem. I just like, obviously I think we all agree that the upside levels are Dawkins is probably a high mid-carder elite tag team specialist, whereas Montez Ford is like top of the food chain type player, potential.
And if I had to put and this is the part that got me some guff when we were watching, right? Because everybody's like, oh, the turn's going to happen. Everybody's focused on Dawkins turning on Ford. I'm saying Ford's going to turn on Dawkins.
That's I think the way you do it. Yeah.
Because I think and everybody looked at me nuts when I said that. But if you look at it this way, Montez Ford, to Bert's credit, Montez Ford should be the one reading those statements and going, yeah, I am that good. Yeah, I can be Superman. Yeah, I am the face of the company, and do it that way and be like, Dawkins is slowing me down. That makes more sense to me, because I think I just don't think Dawkins turning on him does anything.
I think especially with the other thing with Montez that we got to realize is he's married to the face of Monday Night Raw right now.
Right.
Like the co-face, if you want to put Lashley there too. But like Bianca is like a megastar of megastar. Like she really like her ascent has been incredible. So it's like he's playing second fiddle to her too. Imagine if they did like a double turn with both of them at the same time and they turn. I would be like, I think that would be really cool. That's why I say we don't need to rush it because Bianca's an amazing baby face, but we've said this since her NXT days. Like she is an incredible heel when they let her do it. So when they eventually do that with her, which I don't think is anytime soon because she's way too much in a position where they're just not going to do that for a while. But if they did the two of them together and like Montez took out the trash at Dawkins, like that's also, I think you put Dawkins in a better position to succeed is you have Ford turn on him because it's one of those things. It's like, I think if you had like Madcap be a heel, come out of his turn with Corbin, it wouldn't have been as effective. Obviously Corbin's a natural heel, so it was an easy choice, but to have the second fiddle guy, I always think it's easier when you break them up to make the second fiddle guy kind of like the baby face because it gets the sympathy a lot easier, so it'll get natural pops.
I agree, and Bert obviously just keeps him out of the hot dog chugs. I agree. That was going to be in my heat, but since you said it, yeah, I mean, I don't really care. We can talk about it more, but any of those stupid segments from me, I'm always kind of against.
But here's the thing. I agree too, but as long as Vince McMahon's working there, if you can succeed in those segments, that helps you a lot. So you gotta mix them in every now and then. As we see with the Profits, like they do anything they ask them to. That's why I don't want them broken up yet. I'm not ready because I think like it's the Usos and the Profits. Like even though we've had this talk of the big three, it's like the Street Profits they're these tag teams without the long list of experience. So it's like there's still plenty for them to do as a tag team as well. And like the split will be there. The split will always remain there. But until you kind of like have more teams catch up or you start pushing the New Day again, I think it behooves them. Yeah. It behooves them to keep the Profits together.
Behooves them? What are you, Ronda Rousey? Behooves them.
You heard the word behoove before?
No, I have behooved before.
That's like a $2.50 word. It's not even a $3 word.
I'm just saying behooved. Listen, you have to talk to everybody the same. You can't just sit there
I'm Nesta. No, I'm going to talk how I talk, and people will understand.
What offense to that? Are you calling me dumb?
I think you called yourself dumb.
No, you're calling me dumb.
No, you're calling me dumb.
Anything else on Money in the Bank before we wrap this stuff up and get into the regular part of the show, please?
Bianca check mark against Carmella, and it seems like, according to Monday, they might be running it back. But whatever, we are going always in the shine, much like Mandy Rose, the measuring stick, but Nestlemania, keeping with the M theme, because there's a lot of M's. I want to talk about Maximum male models, where Max Dupree of Maximum introduced us to Massey, who is the male, and then the models, the third M, would be Mansois. I can't tell you how this segment is ridiculous. And I know there's a portion, especially on the internet, of wrestling fans that like, oh my God, this is so dumb. But no. If you're watching WWE and you enjoy WWE, you need entertainment. And the reason why I love this is Massey and Mansois, they're two talented guys that just like Mansois, we're past like the initial, like, oh, this guy's cool. Oh, he's only in Saudi shows. And for Massey, he was in a shitty stable. He was an announcer for a little bit. These two needed something to survive to like bring us to them. So what better way than to make them Maximum male models? This segment was fun. I love how all in all these guys were on Twitter about it. I think that really helps sell it. And we know Dupree's a fucking stud. So I know you love this as much as I do. So, but this was, I thought to me was shine.
I couldn't want more of this. Like I when I saw it, I went, all right, the segment before where he's like close talking with Pierce again, tantalizing the whole thing. Like just the whole thing was great. And then I'm like, okay, here's the money. Here we go. And then he had the cards, he had the microphone. He sold it so well that once they both came out and they did their thing, I was like, I'm in. And then when they came back out and Mansois leaned on him,
it was like, such a good look, right?
Yeah, that is a tag team that works. You got a big guy, a medium guy.
100%.
It worked. And the whole thing is that here's what I think is going to be great. I think, how do you say Massey? Massey.
I actually like spelled them phonetically, so I
so you could do Massey.
Massey and Mansois.
Mansois. I think that we're looking at Massey saying, okay, this is going to be fun. But I think the kick, like to me, I'm going to get the biggest kick out of is Mansois. I think he is going to show.
I don't think
some type of personality here,
right? Yeah.
We've never seen anything except this
100%.
G golly gosh. And
yeah,
I think,
G golly gosh, Ali, want to be my friend?
and I think this is where he is going to shine so hard, because we know Mace can go in the ring. We know he's a big brute,
Must say.
whatever. Marseille, excuse me. Marseille. It's gonna be hard for me to redo this in my brain.
I know, I want to say it too.
But like, I was sitting there going, I'm not gonna like, let's give him everything, obviously. But this is
slow burn.
This is when I watched this, I was sitting there hoping for average, and I got completely above average, in my opinion. And I went, it was just like the way that, and I think the issue that I have with everybody is that hates it is just go watch AEW.
Well,
like if you don't want entertainment.
People who complain about this shit on Twitter, you have to realize they're not watching. They see like a Twitter thing and they just want to be. It's like, so that's why like you can't, if you're on Twitter and you're like involved in that, it's such like a small thing, because I feel like the people, you could tell the people who were watching it and the people who weren't. So this was fun. Obviously, there's going to be things like if you're watching this and like someone walks in, you might be a little embarrassed, but that's part of wrestling. But here's time. Doesn't mean it's not good.
Here's the thing that I automatically went to, and this is my brain, nobody else's. This is my brain, right?
Oh,
but you look at it this way, right? What is the WWE head and shoulders better than everybody in the business? This stuff,
yeah.
And you know why? Here it is. AEW, you can do whatever you want in AEW, and I appreciate you have the longitude, and you can do whatever you want there, and you can be a wrestler, you can do the blood and the guts, and we can.
Or you can be Orange Cassidy and be one of the most overacts for a
right.
reason, because you're WWE type character.
You have the longitude to do those things,
yeah.
But most of the time in AEW, you have the guess what?
Generic good wrestler
478.
Yeah.
So when you go and you watch the Maximum Male Models, my head directly went to, those motherfuckers are gonna be walking runways with actual models during Fashion Week. They are going to be plugged into so many different pop culture things. It is going to be stupid, and it's going to be so fun, because who the fuck would have thought Mansoir would have been in France on Fashion Week? Like, I couldn't have predicted that.
Mansoir and Marseille.
I am so excited. I am so excited for them, because they were just scrap metal.
They were on TV.
They were catering. But now they are, I mean, Friday is tennis wear. I cannot see how this can go bad at all. Like the fact that
I can, but I'll still like it.
Hold on. I got to do this so you can see the visual, right? Like, I'm going to stand up and see if I can do this. Ready? Imagine Mansoir just like taking a racket out and being like, oh.
Who is he, Anna Kournikova?
Yeah, he could, but I mean, like, imagine him doing that. I would giggle so hard if he was just like going back and forth and like doing a little like what I'm so in on this. This isn't, if you don't like this, you don't like anything. That's what if you don't like this, I cannot.
And that's coming from No Fun Nestle, and he's having fun. So
I love this. I think, like, again, not that this is a main event act. This is a bottom of the hour thing.
This is a low mid card, but it's.
But beautiful. You know what? That's okay. Give me a palate cleanse after I watch Meaty Men. Like, that's fine. This is great. I think this is the perfect bottom of the hour act. It is. This should be on the second and third hour of Raw every week, not on SmackDown.
I'm okay with it being on SmackDown. I'm okay with it being on SmackDown, because I do think the Fox type production will really elevate this like whole gimmick. I really do. Because Fox, like, they have a lot more of the showy type things, and this is a very showy gimmick.
Showy. I'm not putting that on them.
Oh God, yeah, we do it. That is one thing. We have to have Nestle calm down a little bit.
The brakes.
Yeah, because we don't want him to destroy.
They are not a wagon yet. All right. They are clearly they're getting there, but they're not a wagon.
You know what is a gut wagon, Nestlemania?
What's a wagon?
My second biggest shot of the week. Gunther killing Uncle Sam. I love this. When R-Truth came out and did this, I'm like, if fucking Ludwig and Gunther don't interrupt him, this is a missed opportunity. I don't care if it's the wrong show. I don't care. It's the 4th of July. You're building an anti-American act on SmackDown. You have fucking R-Truth dressed up as Uncle Sam, and boom, they did it. Ludwig came out with his beautiful pipes, and Gunther came out and just beat the fuck out of him. The visual was great of him just beating Uncle Sam. I loved it.
The ring,
I pop for that every time.
I knew something was coming, because he was talking like, I'm Uncle Sam, y'all. Yeah. And then like you could see the entrance die down, and I'm like, oh no. And then when I saw Ludwig, I went, "Oh my god,
This is where our
Jobber alert!" But I don't care. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's in the
this
shine.
is where our truth hits home runs because
Yeah.
it was nice to have like a break where they didn't force in the 24/7 title as
Right.
part of this. It was nice to have our truth kind of get back to like. Do you remember his thing with Brock Lesnar? That was an all-time segment. I still, if someone posts a clip of that, I still watch it and laugh my ass off. And Brock does too. That was one of the most fun I've ever seen Brock Lesnar have on television. So this is a perfect opportunity. It's a holiday. You're building up this anti-American act. Like it's perfect. That's why I loved it. It's like it was 5 minutes of my time, but it was I have 3 hours. This was an optimal 5 minutes.
Optimal. I mean, it was a jobber alert, but again,
don't care. It was perfect.
People are like, oh, you get the jobber alerts on Twitter. It's like if you watch and you listen to us, we're cheering for the jobbers. We want these jobber segments.
This is what we want. Like I want our truth dressed up as Uncle Sam getting his ass beat by a fucking Austrian who says "fuck you, America."
Yeah, I want him to.
That's
kill
as old school wrestling as you can get.
Get him, kill all the American people. Like if he beats Lashley, if he beats Tez, if he beats all of the all American people, if he gets to Cena.
Are we bringing Jack Swagger back? The all American?
The all American. Yeah. I'm in. I want Gunther to rip the American flag or something. I want him to
can't.
I know.
That's a little tougher because that's we gotta protect the flag code here, Ness.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just you can do things to the American flag. I think that'd be fun.
I don't know.
Not very patriotic though, but for Gunther it would be funny.
Yeah, maybe if you have someone wear it. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Anything else that you want to get talking about here? Because there's a lot that I could get into, but I just wanted to.
I will say this, and you can transition out of it if you want. But there were hometown heroes that actually won in their hometown Nestlemania this week. They were in San Diego, where the Mysterios are from, and the Mysterios won in San Diego. That never happens in WWE. So I think it's just cool that babyfaces actually won in their hometown, but.
By DQ, but whatever.
They still won. They won in their hometown, and then the Judgment Day just beat the fuck out of them with Finn in his pants, which apparently is the biggest heat of the week.
Oh my god! It is the biggest shine of the week for me. I
think people, the more skin we see on Finn, we want that Finn skin in our face.
Thank you. So here we go. Bird said it right there. Balor's pants. I was so excited by his pants. I could not tell you. Just the purple do-rag, the purple little handkerchief that was hanging out of him. I went, This is a package. This is a package that I could get behind. I am so excited by this package. It is so ridiculous because here's the thing. Yes, I know everybody wants to see that, when he grinds on the thing, and he does the whatever. I get it. Women, men, don't matter. Whatever. Non-binary, whatever. Everybody loves Finn. We get it. I get it. Right? I get it. But when I saw him in those pants, I thought to myself, there's a man that knows what he wants. And it was leather. Do you know how hard it is to wrestle in leather pants? That's not breathable. Somebody might say it's pleather. Even then, pleather. I had pleather shorts when I wrestled. That sticks. It sucks. So when I was watching him with his little purple deal, yeah, exactly. We'll give it up to Joe. Joe makes a great point. This is heel Balor. You want to know why? Because
he took away the skin.
He took away what he wanted. He took away everything you love about him. If he covers up altogether and covers up his abs, that would be it.
That's how you put the cherry on top of the heel turn. If we can't look at his fucking
imagine if he did the pants, but he put the pants up higher, so you covered up the abs, so then you get like a weird thing up here. Oh yeah, or just here's something else you could do, right? Like the bigger things that I could think about, or be you just tape it, right, so you can't see it. It'd be great. I think giving less skin to Finn Balor is the heelish thing you could do, and the aggression from him is so awesome. I know that Finn Balor had this in New Japan, but he didn't really have it. He did it the second time around in NXT a little.
But it wasn't really.
This was legit yesterday. Or sorry, on Monday. It was boom, boom, boom.
I really like the aesthetic of him and Priest together too, because they're both darker. But I will say, if you're sharing around the Jobber Knocker today, the hashtag of the day is #FinnSkin. So
#FinnSkin.
#FinnSkin.
Also to Doc, I'm not even, what's bigger, Balor's package or Nestle's headphones? Okay, look. So either I have a small head or these headphones are ginormous.
Yes. But Finn's still bigger.
I mean, if Finn's,
you were admiring his package the entire night. So that should be an easy answer for you.
I'm just saying these headphones are not as big as they look. I mean, this microphone looks enormous. It is not enormous. So
it kind of looks like.
I know because listen, I have a presence on camera. I don't want to sit all the way back here. No, it's stupid. You have to be up here.
You like being close. So when it,
I'm like Max
you get the
Dupree.
full, coverage.
Here, Doc. Here, Doc. Is that big enough for you? Huh?
I'm a little uncomfortable now.
Yeah, you should be uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah. Hashtag thin skin.
Yeah, well, whatever. The Claymore kick came from Drew botching in his leather pants from 3MB. Very, very unnecessarily comment there, Joe Stopper. But again, you're right. It rips, it tears, it sweats, it does not breathe. So Finn Balor in his purple and black, I'm in. I don't like that they still have the Edge random music.
No, I'm okay. Like, that's their music.
Like,
they took out the stupid, you think you know me? You never did. They took out that. Like, whatever.
I know, but it's just like, they need to rebrand it. They need to do something different.
Nah,
and they're treading water until they can figure out what to do with the Rhea thing.
They're treading water until Rhea can come back because she had her fucking teeth knocked out. So
yeah, it's just rough. It's just so rough. And then like, I don't know. The Mysterio thing is great, I guess, but it's just like
it was cool to see someone actually win in their hometown. Like the Mysterios, like are the definition of like baby faces who have nothing to them until they turn on each other. But it's just like to see people win in their hometown. It's like it's cool because we never see it in WWE. So when you get it, you're like, holy shit. It was like you said, it was a DQ win, but hey, a win's a win, baby.
I mean, it was Eddie Guerrero, so how can you really hate it, right? Like I get that portion of it. So you got to do the shimmy. And I guess, I don't know if you have anything else specifically in the Shine.
No.
So this is probably a good teeter-totter moment into get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. We are now officially in the heat. This is the thing that I want to talk about. Everybody thought there was a Bray Wyatt promo that was coming. I hate to bust yo bubble.
It might be. You could be wrong. The internet could be raw Nestle.
No.
Not Dirt Sheet Nestle. Here you go, Joe. Hashtag Dirt Sheet Nestle.
So here's the thing that I would say very quickly is that it's Edge. It's Edge. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? The comment?
Hashtag Nestle can't wrestle. It's perfect. I feel like Dr. Joe would eat that up. The hashtag, the chant Nestle can't wrestle.
I'm wearing the Nestle can't wrestle shirt.
The WWE Capital One credit card commercial was more entertaining than Nestle's wrestling skills.
First off, you've never seen me wrestle, so fuck you.
I have.
Yeah, that's right. Do you want to know something?
I was very loud in the Nestle can't wrestle chant.
That's right. I had at least 200 to 300 people chanting Nestle can't wrestle. They made a t-shirt out of it. There should have been a back of the t-shirt that said, but he can damn sure entertain. And then here's where you know I'm a draw, folks. After that, everybody left. It was intermission. Everybody left. Do you want to know why? Because they should have put me on last, and they didn't.
Nestle was the meat of the sandwich of the
crowd. I was absolutely.
But it might have been the guy you were wrestling. He's so
okay. Well, yeah, we can talk about that later. But that's the other thing. But here's the thing. I will tell you this much, Doc. I am more entertaining than you will ever know, my friend.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Invite me on your little podcast, huh? Then we'll see what happens. Huh? When this is when you're wrestling dolls. I'll tell you this much. I have wrestled the doll before.
I've wrestled the teddy bear in Guthrie's backyard and wrestling.
I'm not ashamed to say I put the doll over.
I beat it for their Intercontinental Championship, baby.
Listen. I will tell you this much. I can put anybody and everything over. Okay? I put where is he? That guy. I put that guy over every week.
Yeah, I don't need you to put me over. I put you under.
I get you over. Anyway, you know what? I should just mute Doc in general. He every time he comes in here, he's such a disruptor.
I like it. It gives me a break from having to like bring you down a notch. He
is such a disruptor. That's what he is. Dr. Disruptor for me from now on. That's it. Don't you have a back to crack or something for crying out loud? It's your goddamn Twitter handle. Doc versus Nestle, I'd rather pay money than a full price AEW pay-per-view.
I would definitely pay for a Doc v. Nestle one-on-one rather than Forbidden Door. I can tell you that.
Oh my God. If we ever golf one day, the trash talk is going to be astronomical.
Doc really played well this weekend too. He was, he said he was shooting well. So
Tuesday's I'm off day, bruh. That's what he says.
Okay.
Good to know.
You say the last word again?
Bruh? Brie?
That's pretty good. No, Brie. It's not Brie. That's cheese.
Brie?
Or your favorite female wrestler of all time?
Brie. She's right up there. She's right up there with Kelly.
We could do a knockoff. Brie mode.
Yeah. There you go. Put that in a GIF somewhere.
All
right, where are we? Sorry.
We're in the heat. I'll go next.
Okay.
So This was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw in my life, and they clearly had to fill time because KO's injured or something happened where he's not there. But SmackDown had a battle royal that kicked off the show between all the people in the Money in the Bank match and then 4 guys who wanted to be in the Money in the Bank match. One of the guys who wasn't in the Money in the Bank match and Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin, won the match. You would think, since he outlasted all the guys who wanted to be in it and all the guys who were already in it, that would put Happy Corbin in the Money in the Bank match. But it was an exhibition because we had to have a fatal 4-way later in the night, which decided who got in. And of course, Madcap got in, which is great. It was a great moment for Madcap, but it was just like, what? It was just, and the Guthrie tweet, he said, this better be the biggest part of the heat. And honestly, it was. For me, like when I was watching SmackDown, I was like, why the fuck? Like, what are we doing? And obviously, like, it gives Corbin a nice win before he takes on McAfee. And that was actually the exclusive that we didn't talk about after Money in the Bank, where Corbin beat the fuck out of McAfee and accepted his challenge for SummerSlam. But this was one of the most like rinky-dink, like loop-de-loop fucking out of like made no fucking sense things SmackDown's done in a while.
I was so confused because I was like, why is this a battle royal? Like, what are we doing
It
here?
was an old-fashioned battle royal.
I was sitting there thinking, I don't drink, but I'm thinking to myself, old-fashioned. Are we drinking? We must be drinking. So just saying, it's just, it was odd to me. And then, of course, Madcap wins. And I'm like, this is cool. Madcap gets a moment. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And then he barely does anything in Money in the Bank. And it's like, okay, all of Friday was basically a big wet fart because it didn't matter, because any Friday before a pay-per-view does not matter. You can put me on Rampage or SmackDown. It does not matter.
Rampage doesn't have to be before a pay-per-view. Rampage, period, does not matter. That is, I'm on vacation next week, so I won't be here on the show next week. Nestlemania replacement. My favorite thing that I'm not going to have to watch is fucking that waste of an hour Rampage. I didn't even watch last week, honestly, so that show fucking is a waste of time. There's
so much that bothers me about SmackDown that I'm just going to keep on moving. I mean, I did live vicariously through DeVille slapping our boy Pierce, but that's here near, neither here nor there. But going over to Raw was kind of an odd duck for me. So we get into this whole thing where like we have the champions and the women's against the challengers. And I'm like, that's a good feel good moment, whatever. But it was just, here's the thing that bothered me, right? Was Liv kind of fucked up the finish here with the hot tag because there was a moment where, Belair could have tagged her. And I think that killed the hot tag in the finish because at the beginning of the night, everybody loved her, but it was just like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? And it kind of was a weird thing. And then, of course, we have the hot dog stuff where I can't get behind the USA and the hot dog eating contest. And all I could think about was
too phallic for you. You had enough phallic with Finn.
I just spent 20 minutes talking about a package. You think it's too phallic for me? Here's the thing that I don't understand is like, we had the whole thing, here's the punchline. The punchline is Otis threw up a hot dog. Like all those segments led to a hot dog being
But you knew we were getting.
No, I know, but
the Alpha Academy has endeared themselves to Vince so much that they're going to get tons of TV time every week, but they're going to be doing ridiculous shit. But that's, as we've seen over the years, a pretty good spot to be in.
It's just so tough because it's like, so here's my question. I know you guys are going to say that what you're going to say. It's bulletproof, no big deal. But they just had a legit hard-fought battle of the Usos on Saturday night. Right?
Doesn't matter to me.
I know. Shut up and let me finish for crying out loud.
Never let you finish.
Yeah. Just shut up.
Finn let you finish last night. I'm not letting you finish today.
That's not. We're not. There's no dead silence at all here. It's just me staring at him. Look. So I will say this much. It's hard for me to be like, they do that and then they switch gears and do this. Why aren't they pissed? Why aren't they continuously pissed? Why aren't they going to Pierce and trying to get a rematch? Why aren't they going to beat somebody up or something? Like, let's see a little bit of an edge here. That's all I'm saying. Let's do it.
They've never been that way though.
The hot dog. Say, here's the thing. If the hot dog contest and 4th of July weren't a thing for 4th of July, if it was like May or March or something, they wouldn't have been in a segment like this back.
Yeah, but also, like, if it's not Christmas, you wouldn't be getting gifts. Like, it's part of it. It just happened a holiday fell on after the pay-per-view. The Street Profits gimmick is literally we're party boys who come out with red Solo cups. So if there's a holiday, they're gonna be partying.
Okay.
Come on. Fine. It makes sense. Right.
Yeah,
they'll have their edge. That'll probably come on SmackDown. But for the 4th of July, Nestlemania is a fucking party. Who better to throw a 4th of July match than the Street Profits?
What about the other Americans on the roster? I don't know.
Well, Uncle Sam died on Raw from Gunther, so.
There's a, by the way, I don't know if you're watching in the thread here. There's another, this is like a mutiny actually, because you're gone next week. So Joe Stopper wants it. The other crappier Joe, the backcracker, wants a shot at it too. If one of these Joes gets on next week, it'll be interesting. I'll say that much. So, it is what it is.
Hey, I'll try to watch live. If not, I will listen.
No, you're not. Don't say that.
Hey, I'm not watching any wrestling next week, so the only way I know what's going on is to listen to you and whatever clown show you have with you.
Wow, you just called clown show to anybody that comes on this program.
I mean, yeah, they're with you, so they can't. No matter how good they are, you're gonna clown them out.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I lift people up. I am Josh Groban. I raise you up. I raise you up.
Let me see those arms.
Pow, pow, bum, bum.
You ain't no Theory.
Oh yeah, I'm not Theory. I'll come oiled up on the next program. So
please don't.
It'll be good.
Well, actually, yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can because you're not here. You're not going to see it. Really? Who cares?
Do whatever you want.
Exactly. Who cares? Who cares? Anything else you want to talk about, or we just want to get into something else?
No, how about we let's play a game.
Let's play a game. All right. So here's the thing. I talked to JC beforehand. We were in the hope. We kind of had hopes. We kind of didn't. I thought they were kind of chintzy, so I wanted to play a game in what was that look? What was that look for?
Well, you said we kind of had hopes. I did not have a hope. So
I'll
come out and be truthful. I don't have fucking hope this week. I'm a little
I was trying to save you, but whatever.
I don't need saving, baby. I don't need saving. I'm a truth teller. Hashtag JC Truth. All
right. Anyway, somebody was unprepared. I was over-prepared. So here we go. We're going to play a game. And again, everybody that's listening here, everybody that, obviously going to be yelling at your stereo because I'm a moron. But I think everybody that's in the chat here, you can enjoy this too, because I started to get a little bit crazy. A little Detective Nestle, or our boy, he's not the Joe Stopper. It's the Joe Cracker, I guess, is what he's going to be called from now on. But Dr. Numbnuts or whatever the hell he's going to be called. So here's the thing. I'm better than Detective Pikachu. You can already get it out of there. That's fine. Detective Nestle put on his hat and said, you know what, JC? We both love maximizing things, right? We both love maximizing male models, don't you think?
I love males and I love models.
I love males and I love models. So here's what we're going to do here. I went through the whole roster and I thought to myself, JC, so here's the thing I want to talk about, JC. Do you think you need to have an M at the beginning of your name to be part of the male models?
Well, so far they're 3 for 3. Now we know why LA Knight became Max Dupree.
So right. So here's where I wanted to get a little bit interesting with you. And I went and I found pretty much anybody that had an M in their name. And we're going to go through and we're going to find out. Now, some of these are very paper thin, but I want to get your interest in this, right? Right. So we're going to start off first with possible additional maximum male models. And I want everybody to say what they want, what they don't want, and all that stuff, because I think this would be fun. So maximizing right now, here we go. We're going to titilize your guilty pleasure. First off, Mustafa Ali.
I could see it down the line. I don't think we're there yet, but if he kind of continues to flounder and is just stealing food from Veer for a little while, I think down the line he could be someone who could maximize himself as a male.
But so he would not be Mustafa, would he? He'd be Mustafa. He'd have to be something else.
Mustafa. I don't know. That would be more challenging. Yeah,
like it'd be hard to do, right? It'd be crazy, but it made me go in there. So next one. Madcap Moss.
That was the one I was hoping you'd bring up, because we already have a Masse, but maybe we have a Mose too. Mose. But that was honestly, that was someone I thought of, because I don't think this one's close because he's doing fine on his own. But this is someone who I think down the line, if the steam kind of does come off him a little bit, the guy's fucking looks like $1 million anyways. Yeah. And I think he's a guy that could really succeed in this role. But again, I don't think it's anytime soon.
But I just thought, what would he call it? Like Macap?
No, the Madcap would be gone. He'd be Moss. Maybe they'd give him a new
Mosse.
first name, like Magnificent Mosse.
Mosse. It's already have a Mosse though. So
Mosse and Mosse. You have to give a little bit of
Mosse
with your chest. Say Mosse.
There you go. Okay, so then I went into the NXT roster for Malik Blade, which would be interesting because I think he's interesting enough that I think that he could be potentially in the background of this.
Mahik Vlade.
Yeah. Malik. He could be Malik.
Yeah. The hard M. You did well on the
Malik. Mahlik.
Yeah, no, he can
Mahlik.
work.
I think that could work as well. Mark Andrews, not a big fan of him being part of this.
He's never really been on the U.S. soil
No, he's more
either.
UK, but I think, you never know. Now
I mean, he can pull it off.
You can pull it off.
If the maximum male models go international,
right?
You could have Morgan and Dressé.
Yep. You could have Joe Coffey's younger brother, Mark Coffey. I
don't know if he's much of a male model, though.
No, he's kind of a brunt. He's
more of a butch.
Here's where I thought this one's gonna you're gonna either love this or you're going to hate this. You're gonna hate this for me. Ready? Jinder Mahal.
I mean, we know he's got the physique.
Mahal.
I don't know if he
just Mahal
fits in because there's the thing.
The Taj Mahal is a beautiful painting.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with Jinder is like Marseille and Monsois have very cute
Frenchy,
smile faces.
Yeah.
Jinder has a fucking I'm always angry face.
Okay.
He has one of those faces where it's just I don't think he could be, if he was a body model or an arm model or a chest model or a hand model, if he came out with a bag on his head model, then yeah, but there's just, his face is too mean. He's too Maha.
Yeah. No, I got you. And so Doc saying, bringing my boy and my girl twins, bring them in because people would watch that and not me because JC is off. Well, look, Joe, my kids are my little boy and my little girl are adorable. But I do not put them on social media.
They
so my wife would kill me. My kids, I'll tell you right now, the cutest thing in the world is I wear my Super Hot Fire shirt on, and my daughter, she'll look at me, she goes, Super Hot Fire. And I'm just like, oh, Josh is gonna love that. But who the fuck is Josh? But yeah, and of course they see the Jobber Knocker all the time. But sorry, we're back in this. So now we got through certain things, right? But here are things that are a little bit harder to get into, but I saved one real one at the end here because I think this is the one where I want to get talking, but we'll keep going with other ones. Forget the Judgment Day. What about Dominique Mysterio? Dominique.
He'll definitely have to get a haircut because
that mullet is
attractive
awful.
About that fucking mullet on his head.
Oh my God, I want to shave his head in the worst way.
He's young enough. He has the baby face.
Yeah.
So, and we've never really seen him without his bodysuit. Yeah. Which probably because his body isn't there.
He could wrestle in a sweater vest. He could pull it off.
No, yeah, I think it would certainly be interesting because I think we do agree when he does get away from his daddy. That's why I kind of got excited about the Judgment Day thing is they still need to protect him because he is so young and inexperienced. No matter how natural he is at some things, there are a lot of things that are still very unnatural for him. So yeah, he'd be a canvas that I think Max Dupree could paint on.
Right. Okay. A couple others here are very, 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 very low brow. Not going to happen, but I just want to throw them in because they have an M in their name somewhere. Sheamus. Never going to happen in a million years, but would be fantastic. Would be fantastic.
If you look up male model in the dictionary, if they have the antonym, it'll have fucking Sheamus there.
I know, but it would be so fucking awesome. Imagine him in a big tennis outfit, bursting out of it would be so fucking funny. There's nothing Sheamus can't do. Moving on, Nakamura. I don't think this would happen, but it's an M.
Honestly, the way he moves and gyrates and stuff, he could work as a male model. He's got that really slender, a lot of models are very slender, the slender in lawn.
Yeah.
Nakamura definitely has that. He's a little older. He's a little older, which would
doesn't matter. Models can be any age.
No, but I think it just with the way if you put him next to Monsois and Marseille, who are the younger, it might not. But I definitely think he has the body type. But I don't know, the name would be tough. He'd have to be like Makamore or something. They have to change the N to an M. I don't know.
Again, we're getting harder into the selling of this entire thing.
Yeah.
Then we get to the Miz. But I think the Miz.
The Miz is a no model, but he doesn't. Right. The Miz is the opposite.
He doesn't need anybody. Yeah, and then of course Carmelo Hayes, but I don't think they're gonna drop him in.
Melo is more.
Melo is. Yeah, I don't think they could do it. But
he doesn't.
Whatever. Okay, here's the last one that you guys are gonna look at me and think this is stupid, but I think this could work. We talked about it earlier. I think this would be fun. Montez Ford is the cornerstone. Montez could be a cornerstone to it because he could be a male model.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Got a great body.
It's just this is more of the down the line.
Right.
But Yeah, it could be. I think it'd be perfect if they did down
If
the
they
line.
took it seriously. If they took it
Yeah.
seriously.
This is, yeah, it's not now, but yeah, no,
No.
it could work. It could work.
So there you go. That
I think my favorite one is still Madcap someday. Like, I think he'd be perfect as a.
I think there's a lot of potential here. Again, it depends on which way they go, right? Like, they could have fun. They could take it seriously. I don't know. I don't think they're going to have take it seriously. I really don't, but
not anytime soon, and they shouldn't.
But I just love going down the rabbit hole and looking at the entire roster and being like, who has, like, what could this happen?
Yeah, it's a good exercise. Good exercise.
I think so. Look, Bert agrees with me. Jinder would be the best. It would be hilarious.
It would have to be like ironic because his fucking face, right? Man. He's such an resting angry face.
You ever seen Ratatouille? You ever seen the? Well, you would see it if you Googled it. There's like the rat with the chef hat. That's Jinder in my like. When I look
maybe
at
Jinder wears like those model masks, like a ski mask.
Yeah. Okay.
That could work.
What if he just covered up his mouth and just came out?
I think he'd have to shave too, because I think a part of like his facial hair is what makes him look so angry.
I just think he has beautiful like hair. I think like it could work. I really do. So
you know who I think actually could work but he doesn't begin with an M is Shake.
Nah, that dude's like a giant.
I mean, you missed one Nestlemania. Mahan Veer already is like a model.
Oh, it's just Veer on the website, so I just thought it was Veer. So,
but if you just went
Mahan to me, Mahan. It's like, how French can you get? If Rene Dupree came back as his brother, I'd be okay with it too. But that's beside the point. I used to love La Resistance.
La Resistance.
La Resistance.
Sylvain Grenier.
Anybody from France or that is French Canadian or anything, I apologize for our terrible stereotyping. That is
Guthrie's like favorite tag team ever when we were younger.
Listen. I thought that was a great tag team. Honestly, I 2000s era tag teams. That's up there on top 10 probably.
I agree. I hated them, but that was meant to do.
That's the whole point. That was the whole fucking point. Even Rob Conway. Special shout out to Rob Conway.
Yeah, Rob Conway.
Yeah. Look at me. Yeah.
Rene Dupree was my favorite one, though.
Yeah, Rene had the stuff. Anyway, I think that's pretty much our hope there. So we're going to go kick it into high gear here with our comebacks. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Don't call it a comeback. She's new here, and that is WWE made 2 signings this weekend. One obviously like is very well known. Another one is well known to the people who know, and now you're gonna know. And that is Valerie Loretta, who has been fighting in Bellator for years. I believe she's only 22 or 23 years old. If you look at her Instagram, you'll understand why this is a big fucking deal signing. She's apparently friends with Nikita Lyons too. She's obviously local to Florida. She's officially signed with NXT. She was in Vegas for Money in the Bank in the crowd. She is someone, she has the look of, well, fit in with NXT of what they're looking for. And we know she's athletic because she's a professional fighter. She's someone who, if she kept fighting forever, she's going to be popular because she's hot as hell is what I'm getting at here. But it was one of those things I think wrestling could really be her thing. She's young, so they can mold her, but I think this is a big time signing. Like AEW can sign all the WWE retreads. WWE is just going to sign all the fucking Instagram famous people like Valerie Loretta and
my comeback, Logan Paul. So here's the thing. I watched this, and if you don't know, if you don't go follow Hammerstone, he's the MLW champion. Great follow in general, but just a great dude in general. He put out this video, and it changed my outlook on the whole Logan Paul thing. There was a lot of wrestlers out there, and I'm not saying this to pop JC because JC and I have a very similar idea of this when we watch indie shows. But he goes, "Oh, I'm an independent wrestler. I've been flip-flopping my way, and I'm awesome, and I do all these awesome things. And now I'm pissed because Logan Paul got just a contract signing, and now I got nothing, so I'm going to go out and do 400 more flips and kill a guy." And he goes, "You know why he's on there? Is because he connects with a crowd. You want to know why? It's because he's got an Instagram following. Stop doing your goddamn
He's been
flips."
famous since he was a kid, like him and his brother making videos. Like,
but if the point
it doesn't get bigger than this. Honestly.
Right. He was saying the point is stop flipping and start connecting with people. And that's what he does. He's got the #1 podcast, #1 YouTube. Like everything this dude touches, unfortunately.
Most Instagram photo put out by WWE, which is like WWE gets a lot of Instagram, like signing Logan Paul is their biggest step. That's huge. How big of a move this is.
Right. It's a monumental move. And you can like him or you can dislike him. It doesn't matter.
Either way, he's a star.
You grab it. First off, you look at the guy and you're like, I got to look at him. right?
I want to punch him in the face.
I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And you know what? That punchable face makes him money. He's got the Pikachu or the whatever Charizard he's got around his neck.
He fucking fought Floyd Mayweather.
You know what I mean? Like, he has touched greatness. He might as well be greatness. You know what I mean? Like, the dude just can't stop. He won't stop. So, like, I looked at this and I went, this is fucking money. Like, this, like, don't have him wrestle all the fucking time, please, for the love of God. Obviously, have him do maybe 4 times a year, big events, stuff like that. That's great. But what he's also going to do, again, we talked about the joking of the, you know, the multifaceted WWE with the whole Fashion Week stuff. But what he's going to do is he's inviting all these wrestlers on his podcast who then another audience does not know, which makes the WWE bigger. They just get it. They just know how to take the monster and make it something bigger. They get it. They know how to put something out in a factory, pump it out, and then someone else eats it up and makes it bigger. So I look at this as a win for everybody. Because, and the other thing too is I want to take a personal lap, but I'm tethered by my giant headphones. So fuck you, backcracker. But I will say this much. They officially have Miz and Ciampa handshaking because I called this weeks ago. I called it last week and the other week and all these other weeks. But what I will say is this is where I'm thinking to myself. Everybody thinks we're going to get Miz and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I don't think it's happening. We're having Ciampa and the Miz against Logan Paul. And you ready for this? AJ Styles. Jay, stop. Right. Like, that's where we're going. That to me is where we are going. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands AJ Styles next to, you know, Logan Paul. That's going to be fun because here's the thing. You could see Logan Paul coming out with the hood and doing the whole, you know, the whole thing.
That
like,
would be cool.
You could, and I think that's a cool visual for SummerSlam. And you make a guy like AJ Styles, who obviously self-admitted is not a hip guy, would be rubbing up against somebody that is, you know,
AJ is the opposite of fucking.
Oh yeah, but he knows that. He knows that, and I think like, but that's the thing.
He has one of the most banner like fucking musics, but it's just like that's what makes it so perfect. Because AJ is just a country boy, just fucking loves fucking doing shit. There's a clip that actually he was on Up Down Down. He lost to Seth Rollins playing the video game. And he was fucking smashing his controller, and then lives in the background laughing. It's just like that would Logan Paul and AJ would be fun. That was the thing because I think someday we're gonna get Miz and Logan Paul one-on-one, but
sure,
Logan Paul probably could pull off a one-on-one match, but why not protect him one more time?
Right. And I think the thing is here, if he is, you got to take the Omos approach, right? Like if you get to a point where like you really invest in Omos, you want to invest in Logan Paul, you learn from AJ Styles because mechanically in the ring, there's nobody better, right?
Yeah.
And he can probably fast lane the kid better than like the Miz can prepare you for things outside and getting you on.
The Miz can teach you the safe way to work, but AJ Styles, like Logan Paul is clearly someone who wants to do like the more dangerous moves. And like, we, you know, AJ is capable of anything. And like you said, the technicians, and I think even having Ciampa in that match, he's another very good technician. So I think this match would be a lot of fun at SummerSlam.
And honestly, Ciampa went from nothing going on to now being again.
I know last week, I think somebody asked us on the show about it. And I said, if he's with the Miz, just be patient because it'll help him kind of. And a guy like Ciampa, think about that. He's in a match with Logan Paul. Suddenly everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
You know, the guy with the beard, like Ciampa has a distinct look. Like this is how you raise his stardom too. So it is a winner across the board for everyone.
I want to say very quickly, the one thing that made me kind of go, oof, like I cringed when I watched the video of him signing his contract. Logan Paul looked up and was like, who's the high guy in the poster? And it was Edge. And I was like, ooh, he doesn't have the background, so he's definitely a better heel. We knew that. But like the fact that he was calling Edge the high guy, and I'm like,
yeah, I think he's might be putting on a little bit there.
No, I know. But like in my head, I just thought to myself, Edge versus Logan Paul, like
that was the thing. God. Like we were running down things. I'm thinking, I'm like, there's so many fun matches.
Yeah.
We've already seen like the things with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and now the Miz, but it's like those are the easy lamps. Obviously we have a Corbin, but it's like think about like all the baby faces he could work with and stuff too. Like there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, Logan Paul Theory, like come on.
It has
right to Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, like Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, like come on. This shit writes itself.
Yeah, it's a good win. So there we go. Let's get into the big old finish. We got a lot to talk about. We got Great American Bash on Tuesday. We've got AEW and all that stuff. So JC, I'm gonna let you take over.
NXT, like I said, jobberknocker.com. Check out Dom's preview article of the Great American Bash. He will have a recap of it as well, coming out late tonight or tomorrow. The Joe Stopper on Wednesday will have his AEW report. Those are must reads every week. So if you guys aren't reading, you should be looking for that every week and doing that. tpublic.com/jobberknocker. Buy the merch. I believe there was a sale, 4th of July sale. I don't know if it's still going. We should check out the shit. We have a lot of good stuff on there. I'm actually wearing a Jobberknocker hat today. Then also... like, subscribe, comment, download, 5 stars, 5 flames, all that shit. I forgot to say this every week now. So do all that. Twitter @Jobberknocker, Facebook, Instagram, all that. The entire Jobberknocker crew, our handles are in the description. But Great American Bash, like you said, we have 6 matches, I believe. We will start with Tiffany Stratton versus Wendy Chu. I'm picking Stratton.
I think Stratton's, getting the strap put on her and just going to the moon eventually. So it's there. Here's the other thing too is I don't think she's going to be in NXT for very long. I really don't.
It's tough with her because she is still young and I think she could be someone they could bring up, but I also think she's someone they're not going to rush either.
I just think here's the thing. If Mandy Rose is gear shifted into NXT and not going back up, it's going to be hard to get anybody.
The Toxic Attraction will be up. If they're not up by next year, I'd be surprised. After WrestleMania next year. Could be before too. But yeah, she makes sense as a top heel once Toxic Attraction moves on. So I do think she might have a little more legs, but we probably agree she's going to beat Wendy Chu here.
Wendy Chu, I love Wendy Chu, but yeah, it's Stratton.
I do too. We said when that gimmick came out, it's a short-term gimmick, but it's still enjoyable, and Stratton's the perfect opponent. We have Wes Lee getting another one-on-one competition here against Trick Williams, getting his time to have a feud here.
Trick Williams is a step to the best. So I'm picking Wes Lee.
I agree. I think I enjoy that. I think Wes Lee, especially the fire we've seen in his promos recently, like there's something there with him, and him and Mello feud would slap as well. Like you said, this is the stepping stone there. But Mello, heck, he might not even be the champion Nestlemania because this is like, it's already a hashtag JC dream match where Mello don't miss Carmelo Hayes. And then the heist of the year in one of my favorite fucking segments, which I knew exactly what was happening. That's why I loved it. Grayson Waller asked him for a bunch of autographs, including a contract, which got him a match this week. Mello and Waller, like, heel versus heel. I don't fucking care, man. This match will be awesome. But it's just like, these two dudes are on another level down at NXT. Like, these are guys that are like, can't miss. Like, I think in their careers, like something crazy would have to happen. That it's just like, I'm excited for this.
The other thing I want to point out too is we know sort of a little bit because we saw it in the NXT breakout tournament, and I've seen him work his entire life. So before he got to NXT, and like I've called some of his matches and stuff, and watching him work as a babyface, like his moveset is a baby face moveset. Like it is perfect. And I think you're gonna get a little bit of glimmer of that again and realize like this dude's a great heel. Like he's amazing. But if he has to be a babyface someday, he's going to be just fine, and he's probably going to be really good at it because he's naturally athletically gifted in a way that you have to cheer for him.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I'm excited.
This is my prediction for match of the night, which is saying a lot because there's a lot of good matches, including a couple of tag team matches. Playa, we have infighting in the Diamond Mine between the Creeds taking on Roderick Strong and Damon Kemp. I'm assuming the Creeds will retain, but Nestlemania, do you see this as them kicking out Strong, or do you see this as Kemp and Strong leaving together? Like, what do you think's happening here?
I don't care about cubic zirconium and anything else that happens in this Diamond Mine. Like, I kind
of like the Creeds and Ivy Nile. Like, they're the prospects.
I get why the Creeds are where they are. Like, I get that. It's not for me. I get it though. I'm just waiting for Roddy to leave. Like,
so is he. He asked for his release, and they're not giving.
I know. Here's my thing. Like, and I understand they're trying to get the most squeeze out of people, like on their way out. But if he's just send him home. Like,
honestly, no, I think that this you should be, because the only reason your boy fucking the Von Wagon had any life is like Kyle O'Reilly put in the work his last couple months here and like helped Von Wagner transition. Like, as as much as they didn't make sense, like it worked. And like, I do give Roderick Strong a ton of credit because he could do that. He could take his ball, just go home, collect the paycheck, and wait for it to expire. But he's still showing up to work. He's working with some of the youngest talent, including a tag team they have a lot of stock in. Young Woman and Ivy Nile, who I think has a big upside future as well. And now this other guy, Damon Kemp, who I believe is like a 5-star wrestling prospect. So he's someone that clearly has the talent that could be something down the line once they figure out how to make him interesting. But I will say, I'm not a Roddy guy either, but I give him a lot of credit to showing up to work, but not only show up to work and like really putting in the time to help elevate some of these kids.
Got a little brown on your nose there, Punk.
No, you're the one who's up Vince's ass, as Doc said. I love that little call out to our intro. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
At least
your
your
head's small enough to fit up there. We also have another tag team match. This is in the women's division where Toxic Attraction, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan defend their titles against Roxanne and Cora Jade. Nestlemania. I have a feeling they could flip the titles here. I'm gonna pick Toxic, but I think this could be a spot they might actually flip the titles.
I'm gonna pick the baby faces on this one. I just feel like they're not gonna let Mandy lose just yet. So that they can always win him back the next week. It doesn't matter.
Well, this is also a good way, I think, it's like for Roxanne and Cora to, because Roxanne we know has the shot against Mandy. I think it's something for them to do in the meantime until we get to the point where Mandy's ready to lose. Because we've already seen Toxic lose the titles like once or whatever, and then they can easily do Roxanne and Cora versus the K twins, Katana and Kaden, which, you know, I thought that was a fun little match. You know, it was a lot of little engines that could. I love that shit, you know. So yeah, I think you might be right, but I'm gonna go with the chalk and probably be wrong. But Nestlemania, that takes us to the main event, which honestly I think this match is gonna be really good because I can't remember the last time Cameron Grimes had a bad match. I think this is his goodbye to NXT as he takes on Braun Breaker, and he's gonna put over Braun, and Braun's gonna get that big win, and I think which will be a hell of a main event.
You know what's funny? I actually didn't understand why this entire thing was happening, and then I saw the lead up to it, and I went, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense."
It was good.
So,
it was a good lead up.
It was like one of those like double baby face accidental. Somebody got pissed. Let's just go. Let's do it. And then Braun got cleared. Whatever. Good for him. But I think that Cameron Grimes needs to just get up there. Like, it's now.
I think he's ready. He's
not.
ready.
He's ready. He's a Vince guy that can. Unfortunately, he will probably be in the 24/7 realm for a while after his first initial debut. But
maybe, I don't know. It depends how they do it with him. I think there's more mileage with him probably as a heel on the main roster, and that's why I think they've kind of doing this because he could snap or something. I don't know, but I feel like it's time with him, and that guy is so ready, and he could be a hell of a worker for them for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's going to be somebody like a Dolph Ziggler that can work with everybody. And I think that's what everybody loves about him.
Dolph Ziggler is one of the highest paid guys in WWE. He's one of the most reliable guys in WWE, and he has a hell of a resume in WWE. So that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. What does it say from Adam? Let's do this corner spot until the rope actually breaks because we need the story to be. I get that. I completely understand. It's just, it's the end of the episode. It is what it is. They just wanted it for the visual. It's live. What are you going to do? I mean, it's live. Come on, Adam. Yeah. By the way,
it was a little clunky, but I thought it was still effective.
Special shout out to our boy Adam here. He does all our rink announcing for the Proving Ground and many things in the New England area. Our boy Tough Talk Tony Spencer subbed in for him because he was not available. Literally, Tony steps in the ring, and they all start chanting, "Where is Adam?" Clap, 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 clap. So he does. I don't know if you saw the video, but I thought that made me crack up when I saw that. So special shout out to our boy. Anything else?
No, we're going to AEW Nestlemania, which they have actually a pretty loaded card on Wednesday. It's kind of nice we're through for the most part, the Forbidden Door. They're throwing some shit in here and there. We're not really like talking about Ring of Honor, which is nice. I'm looking at this card. We got an appearance from Christian and Luchasaurus, which right now, especially without MJF, like this is much needed. We need that mega heat. And I'm loving this Dark Luchasaurus. They're going to appear. They're not saying what they're doing, but I'm assuming, Christian, like you kind of tweeted about this. They've gone after the dead parent. They've gone after the mother and sister. Jungle Boy has a girlfriend. She's pretty damn hot, Nana J. It's time for Christian to set his eyes on her and
give her the old peep.
Watch the wink.
Give her the peep.
We're in a headset. It's hard to do that.
Give her the peep. Christian looks like a GQ model. Does this thing.
You see maximum male model right there.
I know, right? He's maximizing it. I mean, Lucha Kane is better than Luchasaurus, right? I mean, I don't know.
Canosaurus. I like
Canosaurus. Okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't
honestly. I'm pumped for this because you know me. I'm a big Christian guy. We both are. Then we have two matches that no one cares about. We have Lee and Swerve taking on the Butcher and the Blade. Who cares? Rosa and Tony Storm taking on Nyla and Shafir.
That's a train wreck. Train wreck.
We don't even need to hit on those, but we have two title matches, including a street fight for the TNT title between Scorpio Sky and Wardlow. I like it's a street fight because I don't think Wardlow's going to win. I think there's going to be some sort of MMA guy that comes in and costs Wardlow, setting up a match with him before he gets back to Sky. So I think Sky's kind of like the end boss. This is a kind of way to set up the minions on the way.
Well, he's not going to get another one till at least the end of August, September for All Out. So that's where it happens to get his moment. So I'm trying to think of some MMA Top Gun or whatever, the American Top Team that they have.
They've had
a
a million people come. I don't know who's actually fighting right now, whatever. I'd have to look, but
yeah.
I think it'll be something like that. I don't think it'll be all legal. He'll probably get involved, but
I mean, Wardlow is a stud, but I mean, poor fucking Scorp is just like, they give it to him, but they don't really give it to him.
Well, they gave it back to him. He has the personalized title. That's why I think they're going to get some legs out of it, because him with the title and with Lambert and like all the fucking minions around him, like it's a good look, and it's a good way that it's a lot for Wardlow to overcome, which is why I kind of like it.
And I like that he calls the belt Genie. That just makes me laugh every time I hear it. So
it's very good. And then we have what I assume will be the main event in that weird ass fucking battle royal thing that happened on Friday. Brody King, who I forgot was employed, the forgotten man of the House of Black, won and is getting a title shot against Moxley. I'm assuming this is one of those things like, hey, Mox, who do you want to fight? Brody King would be a fun match. Okay, yeah, I'll have him win a battle royal out of nowhere and he'll get a title shot. That's what I imagine happens in AEW with these matches.
I was so confused because there's no steam. Like, there's no momentum. And all of a sudden, it's just like, main event.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
It's a very AEW thing to do, which whatever. And I do actually like this comment. I don't know if you popped it up, but the Anna J. Peep Show, yes, please. It works, baby. It works. There's so much Christian can do with that. Like, when you brought that up, I had already started, like, my mind was going there. Yeah. So that's what I'm most looking forward to on Wednesday. That, and then I think Sky Wardlow is going to be a ton of fun.
I think it'll be a good time. So there's a lot of wrestling to be had here. Again, you're getting into the Julys and the August. It's a tough go when there's summertime. So
they're giving us fun stuff, though.
Yeah, they are.
Lifting in WWE. AEW is getting back to like the hardcore AEW stuff, and NXT is always a fun show. So
we had a good time today talking about all the stuff in wrestling. We'll be back next week. Well, he won't be. I won't be back.
Vacation's all I ever wanted. Vacation's got it together now.
Okay, well, he's just wrong. Anyway, I'll be back next week with anybody, help please. And I'll be back next week with more Jobber Knockery.
Bye.